having a great day. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves. Hope everyone is really doing good, man. The Jets have made some moves. We're going to be discussing that tonight. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I am taking all callers. I'm going to connect the audio to the show in a second, folks. I hope everyone is enjoying themselves and having a good time. We're going to get to the show in just 1 second. Hold on 1 second, folks. I'm going to connect the audio. 1 second.
Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy, Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. You know what I'm saying? So much going on in the NFL right now. So much going on with the New York Jets as well. We've made a ton of free agency moves to really help this football team. And let me tell you something. If you had questions about Joe Douglas, okay, if you had any questions about the type of general manager he was going to be, all right, this free agency told you a lot about what he was about. He went out there and took care of business with the Jets, man. Hey. He went out there and made us proud. He went out there and made us very proud. So we got to talk about that. We're also going to be talking about other things going on around the league. Big trades, man. Deshaun Watson, he's moving on. He's going to the Browns. You got Tom Brady coming back. We'll discuss it all. But listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show, man. You know what I'm saying? Your boy is also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. Go ahead, give me a follow. I'll follow you right back. The show's Twitter as well is at The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on iTunes as well, man. iTunes. Go to iTunes, search The Long Beach Joe Show, right? Go ahead and subscribe to the show on there and leave me a 5-star rating. Leave me some feedback. Let me know what you folks think. You know what I'm saying? I want to salute and thank everybody that does leave me some feedback. Everyone that has left comments, please continue to do that. Let me know how you feel about the show. You know what I'm saying? Salutes. And for those of you that do listen, whether it be via Blog Talk Radio, whether it be on, whether it be on iTunes as well, we also live stream the show too. We live stream it. You know what I'm saying? I got a face that's made for TV. You know what I'm talking about? If you want to see the show live and you want to see it live stream, you want to interact with everybody in the chat as well, all the savages in the chat, come on over to YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Long Beach Joe Jets, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. That will lead you to my YouTube page. Subscribe, turn on your notification bells as well, so when I post content, y'all be in the know. You'll see everything that I post over there, all the live shows. You also see the other content we put up. We have a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? So come on over, subscribe to Long Beach Joe Jets, and come join the fun with everybody, man. All the cool kids are over here. You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to get into it. Salutes to everybody calling in. We'll get to the callers in just a second. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Now listen here. Joe Douglas and this staff did work, okay? They did work in free agency this year. There was a lot of questions about Joe Douglas coming into this. A lot of people, there was a narrative out there being spread that Joe Douglas was cheap. That was something that was said. Joe Douglas is a cheapskate. We expect him not to go into free agency and really do anything. There were a lot of people that were hopeful that said, hey, Joe Douglas is going to go in there, and try to bargain basement shop. He's going to pick up from the trash heap, from the trash bin. He's not going to do certain things, right? So with all of that brewing about, Joe Douglas went into this free agency and made a bunch of smart decisions. He absolutely did. And he put this football team in a great position, great situation with a lot of quality signings. And the signing started with Laken Tomlinson. This guy's a guard from the San Francisco 49ers. This is a good guard. This guy is a mauler, particularly in the run game as well, right? Pro Bowl guy. Not only that, but he's been in this system before because he's worked with LaFleur in the past. He was playing under him before. So he understands the system. He has a familiarization with the system. As we continue to talk about these free agents, one thing you will see is the value. You will see value, and you will also see guys that are familiar with what we're doing here. That's what you will see. This is a great get. You want to know why? Because we need interior line help. There was no way in the world, as a New York Jets fan, staff, coach, hell, even the players, nobody wanted to see Greg Van Roten go back out there at right guard. Nobody wanted to see that. We all knew we had a gigantic hole there at guard, and he went and filled it with a heck of a player. Got him for 3 years, $40 million, $27 million guaranteed. That's a good signing. And that's also investing in Zach Wilson as well, the guy you just drafted. Because if Zach Wilson continues to suffer from interior pressure, continues to get hit, continues to get injured, continues to have to worry about pressure in his face, how exactly can we properly groom and mature this young quarterback? How can we do that? How can we properly ensure that he hits the ceiling that we need him to hit to get as good as he needs to get in this league? How exactly can we do that? You can't do that unless he's properly protected. That was a good move by Joe Douglas. He also brought back Braxton Berrios as well, 2 years, $12 million, $7 million guaranteed. We were all screaming about Braxton. Did a lot of great things for us this year, not just from a wide receiver standpoint, because down the stretch, he was a guy that was one of the only wide receivers we had that was actually healthy. He was making plays, but he also did a lot of things in special teams in the kick return game. He's an all-pro kick returner. And I know a lot of people, and there's a lot of Jets fans for whatever reason that like to discount that. And they like to say, well, we could just go get somebody else and we could do this. That's what a lot of people were saying before Braxton Berrios was re-signed. Well, here's my question for that. When we let Roberts go years ago, that was also the message back then too. It was, oh, well, we'll just go get a guy from here, from there. And we were never able to actually get a guy to do the exact same stuff that Roberts was doing for us special teams wise until Braxton Berrios showed up and walked through that door. Quality special teams in this league matter. Having solid field position based off of great kick returns matter. Especially when you're in an offensively driven league. I like this move. I like that we brought Braxton Berrios back. And not only does he do a lot of things for us on the field, but it also sends a message to the guys in the locker room. You know what it says? If you come here, you play hard, you keep yourself clean and out of trouble, you will be rewarded and we'll keep you a Jet. That's what that says. That blows up the narrative of the Jets don't ever keep their guys. You perform for the Jets, they'll let you walk out the door. They don't give a crap about anybody. That blows that narrative up. I like this move. I like what it does for the locker room, and I like what it does talent-wise for the New York Jets as well. He also brought back Tevin Coleman as well on a one-year deal, $1.5 million, $650,000 guaranteed. This is a decent move too. I think that this is going to say something about that running back situation because you got Ty Johnson in there. You got Michael Carter, who's going to be our starter. We've seen him last year. You got Tevin Coleman back in the fold. And you also got Austin Walter in that room. Somebody ain't going to be around. And I think this is knocking on the door to Ty Johnson. If you don't step it up, you might be gone, my friend. Because last year, we wanted to see a lot out of Ty Johnson this past season, and we saw a lot of drop footballs, and we saw fumbles. So Tevin Coleman coming back, again, this is a veteran guy. He can give you some quality snaps. He understands the system. That was a decent signing, too. One of the bigger signings that I really liked as well was bringing in C.J. Uzma. This is a big tight end from the Bengals, man. We got him for 3 years, $24 million. Let me tell you something. This dude is 6'6", man. Big target. I like what he brought to the table. Absolutely. Now, there was a lot of people that were just trying to say, oh, well, his production is this, his production is that. And I was like, well, at the time when we first signed him, I said, hey, he's going to allow Zach, right, to be able to dump things off to a big body guy when pressure is being surrounded him. And he fills a void. our tight end position was just wide open. There was nothing there. And especially when you look at the free agent market and you see that Schultz was tagged, Gesicki was tagged, and Njoku was tagged. He was the guy that was there, and we went and got him and grabbed him. So I like that move, and I like what he brings to the Jets, and I think he's going to come here and do one heck of a job for us, man. I truly do. DJ Reid as well being brought in at corner. 3 years, $33 million. This is a young guy, 25-year-old corner. I think he's going to come in and immediately compete for a spot here, immediately. I think he's the number 2 guy. I honestly believe that Bryce Hall is going to be our number 1. He's going to be our number 2. He's also a guy as well that has a familiarity with Sulla. Played under him in 2018-2019 season. He knows the system, man. And he's going to go out there and fight. And like I said, I think he's the number 2 spot easily. I think he takes that. Now, there may be a battle between him and Eccles. I could see that. But this guy's been paid, so he's going to come in. We also went and got Jordan Whitehead as well. 2 years, $14.5 million. This was a great signing, too. This was one of the guys that I talked about prior to free agency. A lot of people were upset when we missed out on Marcus Williams. He went over and moved on to the Ravens. I said, hey, there's another safety out there that I like, and his name is Jordan Whitehead, and he came right on in. This guy is a strong safety that is going to bring the lumber in the run game. Let me tell you something. We got ran on all last season. I don't know if y'all remember that. We got ran on over and over and over again. He got ran on. I'm telling you, watch this defense. This guy's going to come down into the box and absolutely destroy people if they even try that. This is a darn good safety, man. I really like what he brings to the table. Really do. And the Jets were also able to, get LaMarcus Joyner as well back into the fold too in a re-sign. So we'll see what the Jets continue to do. I think they may address safety later in the draft, but that might have closed the door on that Hamilton at 4 talk. We'll be discussing that as well tonight. I think that closes the door when you got those 2 safeties in the building. We also were able to bring back Nathan Shepard as well. Solid re-signing. We missed out on Foley Fadukasi. He's moved on. Shepard comes back. We didn't get a lot of production out of Shepard, but I tell you what, he's coming back into a system. He understands they're going to put him in a position where he can come in, help and run support, be a rotational guy. We also brought back Dan Feeney as well. Dan Feeney is a guy that's going to come in and be a solid depth offensive lineman. So I like that move as well. We saw various injuries along the offensive line last year. So you always need solid depth. He's a guy that can come back. Eddie Pinheiro as well. We signed him a restricted free agent, 1-year deal, $2.4 million. Now this, I know a lot of Jets fans aren't really, thinking about this, but we've had issues at kicker for a long time. Vedvik. Does anybody remember all that stuff that was going on? This guy Pinheiro was 8 for 8 last season. This guy could end up really shoring up this kicker position and putting us in a position where our special teams is solid now. We got a good kick returner. We got a good field goal kicker. We don't have to worry about coming down if we're in a shootout and it's the 4th quarter and it's late and we can get you to the 40. This guy's going to be able to make those kicks. That is huge in the NFL. We've seen special teams cost teams games. It's costed us games. We've seen it cost better teams playoff games. We watched the Patriots literally kick themselves into multiple Super Bowls. We've seen it. Having a solid field goal kicker in this league matters. And we know because we struggled for so long with it. So good to see them get Pinheiro back. We also were able to get Joe Flacco and Mike White back as well. Joe Flacco signing a 1-year deal for $3.5 million. Mike White, they gave him an original tender, $2.6 million as well. That's good. Because you get yourself 2 solid backup quarterbacks. Again, we saw the work that Mike White did. He even has a little bit of intrigue around the league. There's some teams that are interested in him. And so we get 2 solid guys back. So just in case, knock on wood, nobody wants to see it. But if Zach maybe has to deal with the injury this year, maybe sit down, a couple sacks, maybe a game, guess what? We got some guys that can step in and step up so that this team doesn't fall off of a cliff offensively. We were also able to bring in Tyler Conklin as well from the Vikings. 3-year, $21 million deal. Now, last year with the Vikings, he had 61 catches, 593 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's a career high for that guy, man. That's a career high for him. And what this does when you pair him with Uzma is it gives us a double tight end threat. Does anybody remember the Patriots when they had that double tight end threat? Oh, it was deadly. Mike LaFleur, I could see him really setting that situation up where we're going big And a lot of teams are going, oh, they got 2 tight ends in there? Oh, the Jets are running. At least that's what it meant in the past, right? Because we didn't have a threat at tight end. So if you saw us line up with 2 tight ends, oh, the Jets are going to run. We ain't got to just go ahead and, crash down. You know what I'm saying? Put all the pressure down. Just run downhill. The Jets are not. They don't have a tight end to throw to. Go downhill. Get this running back immediately. Guess what? That's not what it means anymore. Not with Conklin, not with Uzma in the building. Go ahead and crash down like we're just going to run and get dusted by one of our tight ends. Go ahead and do that if you want to. And I think that this might also close the door as well on us taking a tight end in the draft. McBride was there. We'll see what happens going forward, but I think this might close that door. And also, we got to look at what's going on with Ryan Griffin as well. Is he going to stay around? So we'll be talking about that tonight as well. The Jets were also able to sign Jacob Martin as well to a 3-year, $13.5 million deal. This is a guy that's going to come in and really help within the rotation. He's going to be a rotational pass rusher, which is what we need. My God. Carl Lawson's coming back off that torn Achilles. I can't wait to see what we get from him, right? So we'll see him, play himself back into what we're going to get before he got injured. The old Carl Lawson, we're hoping to see that. But guess what? We need other guys to step up as well. John Franklin Myers, to be completely honest, we like the guy, but there were times this year where he just completely disappeared and we didn't see him do anything. And after John Franklin Myers, there was nothing. We brought in Shaq Lawson. He did nothing. Various other guys are supposed to step up and be a pass rusher. Nothing. We need to continue to build up that pass rushing rotation. I consistently talk about this defense that we run. It don't work very well unless we consistently get pass rush. This is a guy that's going to come in and help within that rotation. He's not the ipso facto pass rusher. Okay? Don't start thinking he's Joey Bosa. But he's a guy that's going to come and help us within the rotation, and I think he's going to really be solid for us. This guy's got a motor, man. This guy's got a motor. A lot of people talk about him being undersized, blah, blah, blah. Anytime the Jets get a decent guy to come in and help them, it's some type of knock on him. This guy's got a motor, and he can bend the edge. I like what he was bringing to the table. And I'll tell you what, I don't know what Joe Douglas is telling these other teams. I don't know what he's doing. But he fleeces other general managers like I've never seen before. Joe Douglas traded Blake Cashman to the Houston Texans for a 2023 6th-round pick. The reason why I'm saying that he fleeced the Texans is because I didn't think we were going to get anything for Blake Cashman. I'm being completely honest. Blake Cashman has played 14 games in 3 years. He's consistently injured. You can count Blake Cashman in to be on the IR every single year, missing tons of time. Every year. Every single year without a doubt. He's going to be on the IR. He's not going to finish the season. He's going to miss a ton of games. Joe Douglas was able to deal him and get some compensation back. That's crazy. What more do you need? What more do you need to show you that Joe Douglas is serious business when it comes to being the general manager of New York Jets? What more do you need? What do you need? What more do you need? This guy is wheeling and dealing. He traded off Chris Herndon, got some capital back. Traded off Blake Cashman, got some capital back. It's insane. And the culture change here is clear as day. You got players coming in our locker room talking about it. CJ Uzma said, listen, I wanted to come here because I like the culture. You got players around this league that are looking at our staff and recognizing this is now a destination that you want to come if you're a player that wants to succeed. If you're a player that wants to continue to make an impact in the NFL, come to the New York Jets. They got a coach in Robert Saleh. That's what Whitehead and Reid talked about. They came here because of Saleh. That was one of the driving forces. We're in a different space. We're in a different place. This is not the same old Jets. Put that narrative in the garbage. Put it in the garbage. That time is over. Now, we're going to get to these calls again. 515-602-9639. We also got other moves around the NFL as well made. Deshaun Watson is going to be a Brown. The Browns have made the move after what it seemed like, they were done. It seemed like they were told, hey, you're out of the running. Guess what? I guess they're not. They went out there and made the move. They're going to get Deshaun Watson. They're giving him a new deal as well, $230 million, fully guaranteed, 5 years. All right. Compensation is still up, but it's supposed to be 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a fifth. Oh, and by the way, you thought Tom Brady was out, did you? No, he's not done. He's coming right back. Tom Brady has come out of retirement. Oh, boy. Just when you thought you had got rid of this guy, just when we all thought it was said and done, we all thought it was over. Nah. He's not going to let up. He's going to come right back for his 23rd season and play for the Bucs. I'll tell you what, man. Tom Brady is like the final boss that you just can't get rid of in a video game. No matter how many lives you use, no matter how many damn quarters you stick in that machine, he just does not stop. He doesn't go away. Tom, what do you want from me, man?
What more do you want from me?
When are you going to go away, dude? When are you going to get out of here? We dealt with you for so long when you were a Patriot. Now we got to deal with you yet again as a Buck when we thought you were gone. We thought you were finished, but you come right back. It's like a bad dream over and over again with you, dog. Over and over again, man. It's a bad damn dream. But you know it's a good dream? The thing that turns it around is Joe Douglas is our general manager, and he's going to put this team in the best position to succeed. We've done a lot of damn good things, and I cannot wait for the New York Jets to continue on. We're going to get to these lines again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. You want to know why I call my chat the savages? Because they're savage. They're savage. Bunch of damn savages, man. They get after everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Nobody's safe. Not even me. Be completely honest. Now we're going to get to these lines. First guy I'm going to is my guy, Jacob. Jacob, I'm coming directly to you. Salutes to you, Jacob. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Jacob, give me your thoughts on Jets free agency. What is the best free agency signing, in your opinion, New York Jets have made?
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Nice to talk to you again. It's been a few shows since I've been on here. Been a little bit busy, so haven't had the chance to make it onto one of these shows. But, glad to be back here talking to you, and I think this is the perfect show to talk on. And to me, I would probably give it to Laken Tomlinson just because right guard was arguably our biggest need. Mm-hmm. And we got him at a better price than the Jaguars did Brandon Sheriff, who is injury prone. He's a good guard, but definitely injury prone. And then we went out there and we got a 2021 Pro Bowl offensive guard who's missed 2 snaps in the last 5 years.
Yep.
For less. So those are the types of deals where how Joe Douglas gets those done some of the time. Same thing like with what you said with Blake Cashman. I thought that was a phenomenal signing, and I think that pretty much guarantees that we're not going to be taking an offensive tackle at 4 or 10. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Tyler Linderbaum might still be in the playing because Connor McGovern still sucks. That hasn't changed. But outside of him, there's not really a need on the offensive line. So I'm thrilled with that Laken Tomlinson signing.
Yeah. Yeah, I am as well. And like you said as well, the durability is a big thing as well. This is a guy that hasn't missed a snap in 3 years. That's huge, especially when you talk about free agency. We've signed so many guys that have come in here and just immediately kind of laid down. They've gotten injured. They have a history of injuries as well and come in here and have those same issues. So to get an offensive lineman, the type of quality that we got, and then again, a guy that's constantly, on the field, doesn't miss plays, that's huge for us too. But another thing that was huge for us as well was for us to address the tight end position. What are your thoughts about us landing Uzma? Do you think with him and Conklin, that closes the door on drafting a tight end?
I would say not necessarily drafting one in total, but I think at least using one of our premier picks for one, I would say yes. Because to me, up until free agency started, I was one of the people who was a huge fan of taking Trey McBride at 35 or 38.
Yep.
Wherever, I guess, yeah, we picked 35 and 38, yeah. So with one of those second round picks, taking Trey McBride, I thought that would be a phenomenal signing. And then even with us signing CJ Uzama, I was still not totally sold that we weren't going to take a tight end at 35 or 38 because CJ Uzama is good, but he's not by any means like a Pro Bowl tight end yet. I mean, could he be? Sure. But he's definitely not what you would consider a Pro Bowl tight end just yet. Mm-hmm. And so I wouldn't have been surprised if Trey McBride was still a pick. But then we took Tyler Conklin as well. That sort of solidified that we're not going to be taking one in at least the first 3-4 rounds.
Yeah. No.
And I'm very pleased with those signings.
Yeah, I am as well. I mean, we'll see what we do, but it's just kind of tough for me to really see us take a tight end in this spot. It's like you said, at least for the first 3 rounds, we're going to see, how they handle that situation. But with those 2 guys in and what they can do for this offense, LaFleur has got added even more weapons now. LaFleur really stepped up. Once he got to that booth, he was a different guy, okay? Booth LaFleur is nothing like Field LaFleur, okay? Field LaFleur, please just go somewhere else. Keep him in the booth. This guy's got yet more weapons to really add to his offensive repertoire, and we've seen him be able to utilize guys in multiple situations within this offense. Now, another guy that we've seen be used extremely effectively and really had an impact for us last year was Braxton Berrios. What are your thoughts about his re-signing? There were some people saying that they felt like the Jets overpaid. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely not. I'm thrilled with the Braxton Berrios signing as well. And to me, a long time ago before free agency started, I was one of the people who was sort of predicting that I could see his market being around somewhere between $4 to $5 billion a year. Mm-hmm. But if it hits $6 million, I'm not going to be surprised. That's something I said on one of the shows a while back. And people were saying, I don't know, it can get into the maybe $8 or $9 million per year market.
Yeah.
I never really believed that was going to be a truthful statement. And if that was the case, then I would have understood us letting him walk because you don't pay $8-9 million for a 4th string receiver who is also a kick returner and punt returner. Mm-hmm. Obviously it's important, but I mean for $8 million a year, it's just not worth it anymore. But getting him at that $6 million a year price is like perfect to me because he does so much more than just back up Elijah Moore in the slot. He does a lot more than that. Mm-hmm. Having a good kick and punt returner is something that's very, very underappreciated in our league. Getting the offense in field position to start out is huge, especially for an offense that was pretty slow at times with all the young players trying to figure stuff out. So getting that good field position is really, really big for us. And he doesn't drop anything either. I'm not sure he had a single drop this past season either. So I love that re-signing too.
Yeah. So my final question for you, Jacob, because you really brought the heat so far, man, is is there still a free agent out there that you want to see the New York Jets grab, man? Is there a guy that you still like to see the New York Jets target?
I don't know.
Zardarius Smith is still out there.
Obviously there's some playmakers still out there, but there's good guys out there, but I just don't know. I don't want to spending too much money on a guy who maybe isn't the best scheme fit, but we're just getting it because it's a big name. Mm-hmm. I don't see us really going out there and signing any other big free agents. I'd like maybe another wide receiver for our depth chart because we're a little bit thin now. We let a lot of people walk.
Okay.
But I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
And I'm curious as to now with the signings that we've made, where do you want the Jets to go at 10 if we take an edge at 4?
Edge again? I've been very clear about my stance. Has
really?
Been clear. Yeah, dude, we need edge pass. We need edge rush like never before. Imagine if let's say we get Kayvon Thibodeau at 4. You got Kayvon Thibodeau. You got You got Kayvon Thibodeau. You got Carl Lawson coming back. I love Carl Lawson, but you have no clue of what you're actually going to get back from him coming off of a torn Achilles. There have been players that have come back from that injury and been okay. There have been players that have come back from that injury and just never been nothing. So, knowing the Jets, knowing our luck, right? I don't want to bet on that. I want to wait. Let's get Carl Lawson back. I'm hoping he turns right back into the guy. I liked him when we signed him. But if he doesn't, guess what? I'm going to have 2 fresh young edge rushers. And if he does, guess what? I'm going to have 2 fresh young edge rushers to add to him. How are you going to block these 3 guys? If I get Kayvon Thibodeau at 4 and I get Jermaine Johnson at 10, and then I'm sending Carl Lawson at you, good luck. Good luck! Good luck.
Yeah, I can see that. Now,
you know what I'm saying?
Taking an edge at 10 over Linderbaum if Linderbaum is there at 10?
That would be tough. That's why I want to see us get Jay. I don't know. Again, this is a live show. Everything's fluid. I don't know where J.C. Treader is. I know the Browns released him. I don't know if he's still out there. If he's out there, I'd like to see the Jets sign him.
I believe he is.
That would be tough because then if Linderbaum is there, I could see us taking Linderbaum. I just think that Linderbaum is going to be gone before 10. I think it's a lot of smoke with him. I think a lot of people are talking all that yibbity yabba, but he's a franchise altering center, right? We all know that. He's a generational
Without
center.
a doubt.
Well, he's a generational center. I don't think he's going to be there, to be honest. I think he goes slightly before 10. I could see it happening. But if he's there, I would probably take him. I would probably take him. And then I would probably target someone in the second.
Yeah. To me, I just feel like if Linderbaum is there at 10, unless Ahmad Gardner happens to still be there at 10, I'm taking Ahmad Gardner because our offensive line is definitely revamped with that Laken Tomlinson signing.
Yep.
But if Ahmad Gardner's not there, it's really hard for me to pass on Linderbaum. Also because we clear up another $9 million if we cut Connor McGovern.
Yep.
So with cutting him and Greg Van Roten, theoretically, that saves another $12.5 million, which is huge for us because we've done a lot of spending. So knowing that we're going to get some of that space back is huge. And it's not like you're just cutting him to cut him. We're going to hold on to him if we need to because at the end of the day, he's not the worst center in the league by any means, but obviously he's below average, I would say, very replaceable. And when you can replace him with a young franchise-altering center, like you're saying, it's like at that point you could make the argument that our offensive line is top 10, which we haven't been able to say in the longest time.
Yeah,
and again, so
and
the fact that it would already be top 10 with how young it is would just be phenomenal for Zach Wilson's development.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about, developing Zach Wilson and make sure that he's put in a position to succeed. Not just that, when a run-first offense, Michael Carter needs the line to be open so he can run through these holes. But, Jacob, I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. You have yourself a good night. I got to get to these calls, all right?
All right, you too.
All right, you have a good one. We're going to keep going to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639. Call in. Again, when you call in, I know I have new callers. Please be patient. Don't call in and hang up. Call in and hang up. I can see you. I will get to you. We're going to get to everybody tonight. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, please give the stream a thumbs up. Subscribe as well if you have not subscribed. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, y'all be in the know. If you want to give to the stream, my super chat is up there. If you don't want to hit the super chat, you want to hit my Cash App. My Cash App's down there as well. Anything you give to the platform is greatly appreciated. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Next, I'm going to 909. 909, you look like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from. Can you clean up your background a little bit? Clean up your background a little bit. It's a little loud. All right, I'm going to mute you for a second here. I'm going to have to mute you. I'll come back to you later, 909. Next, we're going to my guy in North Carolina. North Carolina, I'm coming directly to you. This is my Jets fan from North Carolina. He knows what he be talking about. Salutes to you, my friend. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, free agency's going on. We got a lot of things shaking and moving. Give me your thoughts about your favorite signing the New York Jets have made.
I believe it's Tomlinson, the old offensive lineman, the guard. I think that was very important to solidify the offensive line. Don't get me wrong. I really like some of the prospects that are coming out in the draft, but I think it bears well for us to go on and address some of this prior to the draft and give ourselves more flexibility. The suggestion you made about taking 2 edge rushers. Me and you think exactly alike. Exactly on this. So this is something that's been lingering for the last month in the back of my mind. What would happen if they took 2 edge rushers? Now, they did this some time back with Sean Ellis and John Abraham. I think they can possibly do it again. And if they did it, if they got Thibodeau and they got Jermaine Johnson, with those two together, their potential, you could take what was a weak area on this team and make it potentially the strongest area, particularly if you can get Carl Lawson back healthy.
Yep.
And then obviously you're going to have Bryce Hall, who showed us flashes, prior to him getting hurt. He has pass rush ability as well.
Yep.
You would have 4 legit pass rushers, and then that would give Saleh probably pretty much what he needs to run his rotation in terms of edge rush and continue to apply pressure to the opposing quarterback, which is very important,
Yeah. That's exactly why I'm all about it. I'm all about edge rush. Dude, we have not had a pass rusher in 10 years. That's insane. We haven't had a legitimate pass rush in 10 years. That is insane. You cannot continue in this league, especially an offensively driven league, a league all about pass rush, and continue to do that. Yeah. But also, give me your thoughts.
I think that's one of the biggest factors that has kept the Jets out of the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I believe it's their inability to rush opposing quarterbacks, and I believe it has been their lack of production from the quarterback position.
Yeah.
It's those two things. It's quarterback to me, and it's edge rush. Mm-hmm. If you can rush the opposing quarterback, get them off of their spot, make them have to rush, because every quarterback can't make those off-platform throws like Aaron Rodgers could in the prime of his career, like Zach Wilson can. Now, a lot of quarterbacks can't do that. You get them off their spot, they're going to become uncomfortable and a little bit erratic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good suggestion to potentially take 2 edge rushers, because the Jets could still get a wide receiver. They can still get one at 35.
Yep.
Now, who do you think is going to be available at 35? I don't know if Chris Olave is going to make it, but he might slide down the board far enough that we might be able to trade in there and grab him. What do you think as far as a late first-round pick, a potential thing?
That's what I was about to say. Chris Oclave is definitely one of – Chris Oclave is definitely one of the guys that I think can be down there.
Let's say by the 23rd pick or 24th pick, he's still on the board, Chris Olave.
Yep.
The Jets the ammunition to jump in there, make a trade and jump in there and get him.
Yeah.
That's
definitely guys that could be there.
Nobody's talking about one of these wide receivers sliding closer to that second round. We've mostly been thinking about the tight ends, but I think since we got the tight end from Cincinnati, now we can kind of take a little breath. We still have work to do. Maybe a Jeremy Ruckert, if not a Trey McBride, but maybe we can take pick 35 and invest that, and maybe package another pick and go jump into the first round, maybe take one of these wide receivers. Now, I think
one second, because
Garrett Wilson, I think he's going to be gone. Drake London.
Yeah, I think Drake London, Garrett Wilson has gone. But one thing you said, I don't mean to cut you off, but you said, hey, you're looking at Trey McBride. Would you still take a tight end in this draft, even though you have Uzma and Conklin now on the roster?
Not early. I don't think I would take either picks 35 or 38. I would not invest those 2 picks in the tight end based on what we've already done at free agency. Mm-hmm. I think we're a little bit more solid now.
Okay.
We've got functional tight ends we can work with now. Before we had practically nothing to speak of, where we were in dire straits to add a tight end in this offseason. Joe Douglas has done an outstanding job. Now he's given us draft flexibility where we can take those picks, one of those picks, and invest it into a wide receiver, and maybe take that other pick and maybe invest it in a linebacker.
Yeah.
Now, that's another thing that has been talked about. Muma. So I think Jacoby Dean and Devin Lloyd, they'll be gone, long gone before the second round. We already know that. But Muma might be available, or maybe one of the second-tier linebackers.
Yeah.
That can really help us. I think Saleh made an attempt with his experiment to convert those safeties, which is, the nuances of safety and in linebacker position. They're two distinct different positions. Even though a safety at times can line up, maybe let's say a 4-2-5 or a 4-3-4 can line up in that formation and appear almost like a linebacker. But some of the experiment, I think it failed miserably. I don't know whether because those particular players just didn't have the wherewithal or instincts to make that transition. Or do you think injuries really fouled this team up early?
There was injuries,
you
but
know, and pretty much
there was injuries that really jacked us up early, especially at that safety position. Again, with us losing Joyner, and then we lost Marcus May down the stretch too, which really hurt us. You know, certain spots in coverage. We had issues at corner. We had Michael Carter go down. We had other guys go down as well in that linebacker core. But I also think it was the fact that, and I've said this 1,000 times, we don't have the right personnel to run the deep. We never had a pass rush. You can't have all those injuries and then have an issue and have no pass rush. So that's multiple stuff there.
That's
but
right.
My next question for you
because I think Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah. Kayvon is definitely. I think Kayvon is definitely going to be in the talks there. But my next question for you is, what are your thoughts about some of the? Was there a free agent that you wanted to see the Jets land that we didn't?
Actually, technically, he wasn't a free agent. I guess he was more of a possible trade acquisition, and that was Amari Cooper.
Okay.
And that didn't happen, and I was very, very much disappointed with it. I think it was, 5th-round pick? And I think we could have afforded, to give up a 5th-round pick, which is really a bottom-tier mid-round pick. And I think it would have been a great acquisition for us. And I think gave us even more flexibility going into the draft, where we won't have to even think about a wide receiver within the first 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Now, because we didn't pull the trigger on this trade, now it puts us in a position where the wide receiver market could just, start becoming thin. As far as our options and what we have to choose from.
I mean, I hear that, but my thing with Amari Cooper, and I think he's a good wide receiver, but my deal is that guy was making $20 million this year. Yeah, he's making a lot of money this year. Like I look at that, I get it. It was I think it was like a 5th and a 6th or something like that they gave. It was very little, but the type of money that he's making, I thought was just a bit insane for us, especially when you look at all the holes that we had. I would have liked to grab him, but again, when you look at that market as well, because of the Jags. Thank you, Jaguars. They gave Christian Kirk everything and half the Jacksonville Stadium to play. So the wide receiver market is jacked up. It is jacked up right now, and I can see why the Jets just didn't go ham in that market. So my final question for you, my friend, because you have really brought the heat for us this year, is when you look at this situation, do you think that Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh have changed the narrative surrounding the Jets, have changed the culture, and now we're looked at as a free agent destination? Do you think they've done that?
No, definitely. Joe Douglas was well respected coming out of Baltimore, and from what I understand, he had some ties to the Philadelphia Eagles as well. I don't know whether he'd been associated with some people over there in Philly, but I think his ties, and he's a very well respected general manager. And when I heard we were interviewing him, and we let him leave the building or something like that, and then things didn't quite go through, and then I heard finally the deal went through and officially we signed Joe Douglas. I had a good feeling about it. And then when I saw his capability to take some situations which was very, I'm trying to find the word for it, was very uncomfortable situations, like the Jamal Adams situation, and he took that thing and just flipped it brilliantly. He turned it around. He got us 2 first-round picks, 3rd-round pick, and I guess a starting safety, and then look at what we got with the draft pick, and look at what he did with Sam Darnold, who I think basically had not much of any value at all. Yeah. And he got, a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's proof. And the way he's managed our salary cap, he's kept us solvent with our salary cap, where every year we've been able to acquire some really good, the last 2 years, good quality free agents. I mean, it may not be the top tier guys, but we got the next level guys next to that. That's really good. If you can't get the A guys, get the B guys, and then all you have to do is just put together a good draft class, which he's demonstrated he can do that.
Yep.
We'll be right where we want to be, which I think is Super Bowl contention. I will still continue to say 2023, I think this team will be strong enough to make a run. Okay. And what Joe Douglas is doing right now in free agency validates what I've been saying. I believe once we break camp and teams make their final cut and we put the final product together in 2023, do not be surprised if the team not only makes the playoffs, but wins some playoff games and makes a legitimate run. Don't be surprised at that.
Yeah. I mean, you talking that talk right now, man. Let's go. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. You have yourself a good night, all right?
Hey, and you take care too, Joe. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, my friend. All right, we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. When you call in, please be patient. We'll get to everybody. We're taking calls, and we're talking Jets tonight. A lot of things going on around the league as well. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady's back. Deshaun Watson going to the Browns. You got Devontae Parker going to the Raiders. Man, things are moving and shaking, but the Jets are in the mix. We're going to keep on getting to these lines. Next, I'm going to my guy, Angelo. Angelo, I'm coming directly to you. Salutes to you, Angelo. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Angelo, listen, Jets are making moves on free agency. Give me your thoughts about us signing Jordan Whitehead. How'd you feel about us getting the safety in the building, man?
That was big. That was big, Joe. Thanks for taking my call. Whitehead's a little pit bull back there, man. Yep. He's not that big of a guy, but, I mean, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, I never heard of. You know, obviously, I watch a lot of football, but, you know, these are some of the undernamed guys. And once you pull up the tape on these guys, these are exactly the guys you want to bring in. Mm-hmm. And I want to say something first that, you know, Joe Douglas has not had a good record since he's been here, but he is making the right moves every year. And even if we have another losing season this year, he does not deserve to be on the hot seat. He needs to be our GM for the next 10 years or longer. He is making, I think, the right moves that all the fans want him making. Mm-hmm. Every move that he has made, I believe majority of Jet fans are behind him. Enough with the big contracts, the high-risk contracts. Joe Douglas is wheeling and dealing. Yeah. And if I know Joe Douglas, he's going to get some more capital in this upcoming draft. I know he's going to make some moves. And the free agents he brought in, I know a lot of people are saying Lakeland Tomlinson, number one, and I agree. But Eddie Pinheiro, man, that is the guy I wanted back. And I had a feeling they weren't going to bring him back for some reason because every year we always let the good kicker go. Yep. I think this guy's got potential. You know, I think that when I saw that, I was like, wow, yes. You know, he ended the year strong. We got a cornerback, you know. We've got a lot of pieces, and it definitely opens up our draft. And man, he's got a big night, draft night. I mean, he is going to be wheeling and dealing. I think we're in a good spot for this upcoming draft, but definitely a safety. We're going to need another one because I don't know about Ashton Davis, but Whitehead, he's the guy. And bringing back LaMarcus Joyner, and that's another good thing. But we still got some holes to fill, Joe. Yeah, we do. But I'll tell you what. You know, like you said as well, he's really set us up for quite a bit of success. And you talked about Pinheiro coming back, and that was a very solid take right there because, like you said, we struggle. We've been struggling trying to get a consistent kicker in here for years. That was one of the things that Joe Douglas was having issues with when he first got here. I mean, like I said, Vidvik, we've had multiple guys that were in here that one season, and it was a complete disaster, man. But I'll tell you what, when you look at the offensive side of the ball for me, the consistency of Braxton Berrios last year was huge. It was huge for us. And to see him resigned, I thought was a great sign for not just the fans, not just the team, but for the locker room as well, showing you, hey, if you come here and you play hard, you keep your nose clean, we'll keep you a Jet. What are your thoughts on Braxton Berrios being brought back, man? Yeah, and I think we got him at a discount. I think we're all thinking $8 million, and you know, for $6 million, man, you cannot beat that because you can tell that him and Zach Wilson had a big chemistry, and then I think Zach Wilson feels very comfortable with him. That's his safety blanket. That's his tight end. You know, that's the guy he is going to look to when he's in trouble. And Braxton is always getting open. He's our little wing Corvette, man, and every team needs that. And you know, hopefully Elijah Moore can be that and more, maybe a bigger playmaker. But Braxton Berrios is that tough guy that you want on your team. And I'll tell you, I did want to bring another free agent. I know you're asking the last question, but Jarvis Landry is another guy. You know, I don't think he's going to come to the Jets, but we need a guy like that. You know, because I want to draft someone. We're in a position to draft one of the best wide receivers this year. Now, there's no big name that came out like last year, Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith and everybody, but there's a couple good receivers in the draft. But let's say if we do get Jarvis Landry, that can maybe hopefully give another year for Denzel Mims. I know I'm throwing it out there, but maybe another year he can turn into something.
Man.
Because, I don't want to draft a receiver, then all of a sudden we got Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios. Now Denzel Mims is becoming a star. Then we, so like.
Wait.
It'd be nice to get
hold
a
on
guy
a second.
like Jarvis Landry.
Hold on a second, Angelo. For Denzel Mims to turn into a star, he's got to get on the field. He's got to get on the field, dude. We were down so many wide receivers last year. It was insane, and he did nothing. He did nothing.
Yep. So,
come on.
Yeah, and we're probably not going to do that. But that's it. So you got to draft him.
Yeah.
We got to draft him. So that's it. It sucks because Denzel Mims he is the guy we need right now. You know what I'm saying? If that would have worked out, if that would have been a Chase Claypool, we would be set, and we could go attack other positions. But the fact that we missed on that pick, the fact that we missed on Ashley Davis, LaMichael Pirine, we need a running back now because you know what? We have Michael Carter. We just re-signed, what's his name? And it's like LaMichael Pirine is the perfect third back, but he's not drafting him. Denzel Mims is the perfect fourth or fifth receiver. He's not producing. We have to draft someone. Jabari Zuniga was a bust at the end. Now we got to draft someone. So, if we would have set this up 2-3 years ago, we would be in a really good spot right now. But that first draft that Joe Douglas did, it wasn't good. And, I think he did better last year and he'll do better this year. Mm-hmm. But this is the hole we're in because of 2 years ago. Because James Morgan, we traded back and we got Denzel Mims and we drafted That draft was just.
Yeah, that first draft, there's some misses there, but we did get Becton in the first. We'll see what he gives us this year. Again, when he's on the field and he's healthy, he's one of the better tackles in the league. Yes, there's misses. There's misses everywhere. But again, if you look at that first draft, he got Bryce Hall in that draft. Bryce Hall is our number one corner, is one of the better corners in the league. So, yes, you're going to have those misses there. But again, you have to look at the hole that we came into as well, right? He was coming in with his first year, he had no draft and no free agency because they gave it to Mike McCagney. He's coming in with a hole, all his cap room issues and all these other issues handed over to him from Mike McCagney, and he's been able to kind of move his way through this situation. Look where we're talking right now in free agency. How many quality signings that he's making. So I think when you look at the situation here and how we're set up now, we're in a better space, and he continues to make decisions to put us in position so that we can capitalize on these upcoming things that's coming up. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about next, is now we're hearing from players that are coming in the building. We heard it from Whitehead. We heard it from Reid. We're hearing it from CJ Uzma about how the culture is different, about how things just feel different with the Jets, and that's what attracted them to us. What are your thoughts about that, man? What are your thoughts about Joe Douglas and Sulla changing the culture of this football team to make it an attractive place for free agents to want to come to? I'll give you the last word. Go ahead.
That's great, and I appreciate that. And I want to tell you one thing. Culture is everything. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you who is on the hot seat is LaFleur. Because you know what? We can sign all these players, but our coaching staff did not have a good year last year. So, I think the coaching staff needs to get put in check. We're analyzing, looking at the players now, but we need to be analyzing, looking at the coaches as well. Our offensive line coach, John Benton, just got arrested for DUI last night. Yeah. And you know what? Whatever. Everybody drives a little buzz. But, I'm sure the players are going to make fun of him, but whatever. Whatever. DUI. I don't know how hammered he was. We're going to have to see what the report comes out. But culture is everything. And you know what? I heard that, Devontae Adams, he wasn't going to come to New York because we're not going to compete. But there are guys that's going to come to New York because of the culture. Mm-hmm. And hopefully at that point we get a couple players. We have a really good draft. Then we're going to be the free agent destination. Yeah. And it's all because of Joe Douglas. And I'll tell you, like I said, he had a bad first draft. And you know what, too? We might have to draft another offensive tackle because of the insurance of Mekhi Becton. But he has moved the team in the right direction. And I don't care if we have a losing record next year. He has still made all the right moves. Yeah. And I want to make that clear. If they fire Joe Douglas because we have a losing season next year or whatever it is, that's not his fault. He is making the right moves. Yeah. Something else has to be done. But I don't want to see this turnover and head coaches and GMs. Like, I want to get to – I feel like we're kind of stuck with this now. I feel like we're stuck with these players and these people. And this is what's good for a franchise. Look at the Steelers, man. They had like 4 head coaches their whole dang existence. I mean, that's what you want. You want a head coach that's going to last 10, 15 years. the Bill Belichick. You want the GMs that's going to be there for 10, 15 years. That's how you build a franchise.
Yeah, that's how you
short-term
exactly.
success.
That's exactly how you do it. But again, the decisions have to be there. Joe Douglas, all the things that he's doing right now look good. And I hear what you're saying about LaFleur, but I think LaFleur actually did a pretty solid job last year, especially when you looked at how banged up our offense was. Once he moved into the booth, he was way better than he was on the field. I will say that. Booth LaFleur, that guy is going places. And I think once you continue to give him weapons, get guys back healthy, I think we'll see even more come out of this offense. But I want to thank you for calling in tonight, Angelo. I got to get back to these lines. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
All right. See you, Joe.
All right. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Michael. Rusty 909 will come to you next. Michael, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Michael, man, listen, we're talking. I mean, things are blazing right now. The Jets are looking amazing. A lot of great free agency signings. Give me your thoughts on this free agency class, man. What is your favorite signing the New York Jets have made so far?
Well, Joe, it's good to hear from you too, Joe. I think Tomlinson, the all-pro guard that we received, again, everyone thinks that Joe Douglas might be done with the offensive line, but you still have two more spots you have to fill. Sant is doing well, and he's played himself into maybe even a long-term answer, but McGovern's got to go.
Yeah.
So I truly think that Linderbaum is on the table, but not. He's given himself a lot of flexibility in the draft to trade and not pick people where he's forced to pick them now. He can manipulate more of the draft. I love the defensive backs that we picked up, Whitehead and Reid. And Reid added that extra depth with Eccles and Hall and Michael Carter too.
Yeah,
I thought that was fantastic. Now you have some quality depth. You're still right at safety. I like Whitehead, but he's more of a thumper. You're going to need a guy to do center field. If Joyner can stay on the field, that'd be great. But you probably have to draft somebody. But again, you don't have to draft anybody super high now. You can pick them up later. Thibodeau first. I think if he's there, I think he's that type of a talent. I heard you say earlier about getting another one at 10, which would be overkill, but I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Is it?
I wouldn't be opposed to it at 109 or at trying to manipulate the first round where you're getting an extra third or second round pick. I wouldn't be against another edge.
Yeah, here's
in the second round with Cameron Thomas. That would be nice.
Here's the thing, Mike, and I hear you say, hey, that's overkill. Is it really overkill when you look at what's going on around this league? When you look at we're in a passing league, right? And listen, if you don't have a pass rush in this league, if you don't have multiple pass rushers in the league, you're going to have issues. If you look at a lot of these teams that are competing, they have multiple pass rushers. They have multiple guys that they send at you constantly.
I don't disagree. I followed the Jets since 1974 when I was 9 years old and I could pay attention to what was going on.
Yeah.
When we were great, we had Gastineau and Klecko.
Yeah.
You had two. All right. And look at this past Super Bowl. You had Donald and you had
Von Miller. Then they had other guys as well. They got other pass rushers there too.
Yeah, they had other guys that filled in.
Yep.
Listen, they had other guys that filled in. Same when we had the sack exchange. You had Marty Lyons. You had other guys that would get some sacks and add pressure in certain ways, but your two big guys, I mean, both of them had 20 sacks in the same year.
Ooh.
That's ridiculous. So that was the Jets.
Yeah.
That was the Jets in 81.
Yeah.
So and they had multiple seasons like that. So if you would get another one, I agree with you with Carl Lawson. You don't know what you're going to get back. I mean, if he shows up to be the same player, oh my gosh, now you really got something. But it's an Achilles. My ex-wife had an Achilles injury. She still doesn't walk good, and that was like 3-4 years ago. So, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get from Carl Lawson. So you have to plan on not having it.
Or not having the type of production that you would think you were going to get out of him. That's definitely what you have to plan for, is him working himself back into being the Carl Lawson that we thought that we were going to get there. Yeah, I mean, you're talking great points right there, but I want to talk to you about this offensive side of the ball as well really quickly. When you look at the Jets tight end position right now, we went from question marks, nothing, to now we got Uzma and we got, Tyler Conklin. Give me your thoughts about, Joe Douglas getting these two guys in the building. And do you think we'll still draft a tight end in this upcoming draft?
Yes. Like I said, if he does some wheeling dealing with the first round picks and happens to manipulate and get an extra second or third round pick or both, then you're going to see a tight end in the later third round, probably Ferguson or Ruckert. All right, or even Dolch, the kid from UCLA. You can go more with a receiver tight end.
Yeah.
Because now you have two guys that actually can arc and really play into LaFleur's new offense, as opposed to the guy we were saying before about the coaching staff. You saw in the beginning they were kind of lost, but they grew as Wilson grew through the season. When they were, if you watched the Senior Bowl, they knew what they were doing. They looked totally organized, really on point, and the Lions looked totally lost, absolutely not knowing. Like the Keystone Cops, they were all over the place. But the Jets were organized. Yeah, the Jets were organized. They knew what they were doing. Yeah. I mean, it was they didn't look like the Jets, which is great. And that's the culture that's changed, and people see that. So are we going to pick a tight end? Yeah, later on. My big thing that I keep on typing into the podcast and stuff like that is, I would love, because he wants to run the ball, I would love for the Jets to pick up Breece Hall. It might have to be a second-round pick for him, but he is dynamic to go along with Michael Carter.
Yeah.
Wow. And you beef up the offensive line. Now you're going to control the ball and eat up the clock, and you add these pass rushes and you build up the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get the ball back quick, and then you're holding it. Now you got something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens there again with Coleman coming back, us still having Ty Johnson on the roster as well. Austin Walter, who is Austin Walter. Once we gave him the ball, he's shown up. He's shown up, and he's actually been able to do his thing.
Yeah, he flashed. He flashed for the one game.
Yeah, so we'll see what
Ty
we do
Johnson just can't catch. He can't catch.
He can't.
Coleman is good, but he does get hurt once in a while. So he'll play a season, but he won't play all 17 games. He'll play 10 or 11. He'll get nicked up. He'll be out a game and a half. You need a workhorse. You need somebody who's going to be in, game out.
Yeah. And
Michael Carter, I love him. He's great. A little bit too small, and he got a concussion already. So that's going to be reoccurring once in a while.
Yeah.
And can you lose them out for 2 or 3 weeks, and then your running back isn't even Ty Coleman because he's nicked up. So now you're with Walter for 2 or 3 games, and that changes your whole dynamic of the run game. Now you're relying only on the pass. That's the problem.
Yeah. But I'm also another thing that we need to look at as well, though, is when you look at this offense and how it's ran, you can have a myriad of backs is what it's built on. This Niners offense, exactly. it's built on having 4 and 5 different running backs. We've seen it where multiple guys come in, give their production, and that's how the run game really gets going. So even if, again, Michael Carter, I think he'll be all right continuing to go forward, but even then we'll see multiple backs come in. So we'll see what they do there. I don't know when they'll take a running back. Maybe they wait until, see if guys are undrafted, but I definitely
everyone says around it.
Yeah, there's other guys that are definitely going to take. Yeah, maybe late in the draft or something like that. So my last question before I let you go, my friend, is when you look at this situation, man, and you see what's happening here in this landscape of free agency, is there a free agent that is still out there that you would like to see the New York Jets go after?
The way Joe Douglas is building and doing things, you're going to hear guys with no names, just like the defensive end that you picked up from the Texans. Did anybody know about him?
Jacob Martin.
He's a good pass rusher. He fills the he fills the Vinny Curry slot that we lost.
Mm-hmm.
He's filling in spots that didn't work out last year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So like Vinny Curry, he picked up this guy Jacob. The situation with the right guard. We were supposed to have Clark there. He had a horrible injury.
Yep.
You know, a very bad injury. He had Lewis maybe competing with him. Van Roten was like the third or fourth guy.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even a consideration. He ended up being our number one guy. You know, it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
you're
that's
talking.
the problem. And so he picked up this guy to fill that spot, but we weren't even supposed to be thinking about that this year.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have bad luck.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know.
Yeah, you're talking
and
facts.
That's what it is. But anybody else he's looking at there? No, you're looking at a receiver. I wouldn't mind getting Menchie in the second round, even though he got hurt. Very fast and a good route runner. That's what LaFleur goes after. You know, or Pickens. Pickens will be there in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what he does, but that's
what I'm looking at. But I'm not.
There's so many
anybody
options,
in free agency.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
You're gonna get all the fillers. That's what you're gonna get.
Listen, Michael, I got to get back to these lines. You have yourself a good night, my friend. Listen, Michael brought the fire, man. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, I'm going to my guy, Rusty. Rusty, we're coming directly to you. I know Rusty's got a lot of fire, man. Salute to you, Rusty. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, man, give me your thoughts about the New York Jets free agency. What is your favorite free agent signing so far, man?
Hey, what's up, Joe? What's up, fellow savages? Yeah, I mean, I'm concurring with basically everybody how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to be happy with Tomlinson. I'm thrilled about that. You know, building the wall. That's what it's about. You know, the trenches. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
I really am. And then you have Uzi and Conklin. You know, just those two guys are going to be something fierce, man. And it's just crazy too how Joe Douglas goes out, gets, we get Uzi. Meanwhile, Bengals were cool with it because they were actually focused on Conklin. And then JD just goes and grabs him too, and just totally, he's something else, man. I'm so happy we got him.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Give me your thoughts. Yeah, give me your thoughts on that, because you're talking a little bit about that two tight end spot. Like, talk to me about the impact that can have on Zach Wilson, man. Being able to dump it off and being able to, just give it to one of those big guys to get rolling. Give me your thoughts on that, man, and a take on how that'll affect Zach Wilson and his ability to get the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker.
Oh, it's incredible. It's everything. It's basically how he was at BYU too, and it's just all around smart football, because you get these guys that have these paws. They're not even hands; they're just paws. When you watch them catching everything, the highlights, it's crazy. It really is. It's just paws, and they just go and snag these things. They're not even plucking it; they're just grabbing it, and their catch radiuses are just incredible. Their wingspan. So even if Zach has to throw a duck, he's a little bit off target or a lot off target. You have the ability now to snatch and grab it, and the dudes are strong. So they're just, they're not gonna. It's not gonna be easy to try and get it away from him. And as Uzi said too, he's not a fan of running out of bounds. So you're gonna get steamrolled. And from the looks of it too, how Conklin looks, to me, like I was just looking at him, like, oh my God, he looks like a huge version of like Jorge Masvidal. It's pretty crazy. So it's pretty cool, man. I'm liking the feel of it so far. I'm loving it.
Yeah. I like it. I like that we've addressed the position at another position outside of pass rusher and offensive line. A big area of need was tight end. We haven't had legitimate tight end production, honestly, since like Dustin Keller. We haven't had a real threat there that people were like, whoa, we better look out for. Like I was talking about earlier, we come out in big sets and teams were like, oh yeah, they're definitely going to run. Because they ain't got no guy that's a real receiver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we got two.
Yeah, absolutely. And and that's especially right what you said with two, because even when we did have a tight, it would basically always be one.
Yeah. And
then we'd almost have two, and then they'd be gone, or an injury or something unfortunate like that.
Yeah.
Where it's, fingers crossed, and then we still have the draft coming forward. Like, your odds are looking pretty favorable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
our
are.
odds are looking pretty favorable.
Yeah.
And these guys are very hungry.
Yeah.
And
so when you look at,
and they look like it's fun to them. It's great.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Bringing in guys that are excited, want to be on the squad, and are excited about being here. But another guy is extremely excited about being here. We're all glad that we got him back as well. Is Braxton Berrios, man? What are your thoughts about him being re-signed? And do you think the New York Jets overpaid? There was some Jets fans, some, salute and respect to y'all, but some that were saying, oh, man, we shouldn't have paid him that much, That's a little bit too much for Berrios. Do you agree with them? No,
I was in the boat, where he's rightfully so, to where, he's right in that area to where he got, and, 6-7 million. Mm-hmm. 9 was crazy to me just because, his position, no doubt, he's great for us at special teams, but, you can't go that crazy because look what JD's doing with everybody else, and that, those $2 extra million do matter.
Yeah.
It's those things that he does. He loves to work with that, and he can work miracles with those, with that money. Yeah. It's truly incredible. I love it.
Yeah.
I like his foresight. It's good.
Yeah. Also, when you look at the defensive side, man, when you look at the defensive side, we made some signings that really improved us there as well. And one of them is DJ Reid, man. Give me your thoughts on him. Do you think he comes in and takes over the number 1 spot? Or do you think Bryce Hall will be able to hold that off and maybe he goes after, he sits at that number 2 spot and beats out Eccles there?
I mean, I hope it's like, like sword sharpen swords in a way, if that's possible. I don't know what kind of steel you need to do that, but to where they're just gonna compete, just go ham on each other, just looking for that number 1 to where it's gonna benefit us as a whole, and just be humble about it. And that would be glorious if that happened. And oh man, good God, that would be, because it seems like that's how Bryce Hall is, and energy feeds energy. So this guy can pick stuff off, nothing against Bryce, but, he's got to get a little bit of glue on there. But, I'm happy he's defense. He does everything else perfectly or great. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to, I don't care, whatever. He can't pick it off, whatever. People aren't catching it, I'm happy. It's good for me. But, if that could feed off and he just picks them off here and there, all the better. And then if it, they just keep rubbing back and forth off of each other, oh, man, what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
It's perfect in my eyes. It'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some cornerback competition as well. We brought in Jordan Whitehead as well for that safety spot. We got, LaMarcus Joyner back. Hopefully he stays, healthy this year. The secondary has improved a bit. You know what I'm saying? The secondary has improved a bit. And again, I'm so glad we brought in Jordan Whitehead because there was no way that you could go into next season just trusting Ashton Davis to get better. This guy's been here for so long. He's been so up and down. It's been a wild ride with him there at safety, and it just doesn't seem like anything's, catching on with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm glad Joe Douglas made that move and brought in a legitimate strong safety, especially a guy that can come down and really lay the lumber when he comes down into the box. This guy is great in run support. You know what I'm saying, Rusty?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't just have Ashtray Davis because the only thing he's holding is a cigarette. It's it can't be. So I love that he went out there and got Whitehead. I love it. I'm ecstatic. And he blew me away, too. I was one of those guys who was like, I fell into the snaggle trap because I thought, he is good safety of, Williams. But that's $20 million, 15, 20 million, whatever it was. But I'm loving this. So now you're getting him for 7. And then, 2, I think, I can't remember his name. I think it was Pyro or something like that. One of your friends, he's a 49er. Mm-hmm. And, he came on after me when I was on last time.
Prada,
Prada. And he mentioned Tart. Yep. I didn't even know he was like a free agent or available.
Yep.
And, then all of a sudden it's just like, ooh, we still have money left. I wouldn't be opposed to grabbing him as well.
Yeah.
And then go for safety in 2023 or grab somebody late in, I don't know, this year's, but that would be something because, oh man, a lot of the 49ers are really, like, their fans, they're not too happy, and they're worried that he's going to be gone. They're not going to re-sign him, and he's only $5 million around there.
Yep. Yeah.
Sure. And he knows solid defense. He ran it. So, and he went to a Super Bowl with them. So, I don't know. I'm very open to that as well too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Shout out to your boy, for showing that.
Salutes to Prada. He listens and calls it every so often. Yeah, but Tart is a guy that we could end up absolutely targeting there. But Rusty, my final question for you, man, there's a lot of things going on around this league as well. Give me your thoughts on the Deshaun Watson trade to the Browns, and what would you do with Baker Mayfield, man? Where do you think he ends up going as he tries to seek his trade? What do you think ends up happening with him, man?
It's something else, I'll tell you. Oh man, well, it was something with $243 million with 184 guaranteed or something.
It was 230. I think 230 was the report that I heard. 230 million. All of it's guaranteed, and I think it was like a 184 million for the first 4 years. $48 million raise from his last deal. Listen, he's getting to the money, man.
He's Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Good for him, whatever.
He's getting to the money, man. Come on. Get that money, Deshaun.
Here we go.
Get that money, man.
So it's good.
Yeah.
I'd be Scrooge McDuck in it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Absolutely, man.
That's a lot of coin to eat, so what are you going to bring into, you're giving up 3 firsts as well on their end. It's a lot. It seems like they're going to have, like a 30% or 40% or 35 around there, like A-plusers or A's around there. And the rest of the dudes might be like, B minuses, C pluses, stuff around that. And that's but if Deshaun, he might be in like unfortunate situation like it was in Houston, but might turn into, I don't know.
No, I don't know about that. Amari Cooper's there. The Browns have weapons.
True.
They got Chubb. Hunt, I think Kareem Hunt is still there. You got Njoku at tight end. You know what I'm saying? They've got some weapons still around.
But that happened to the Eagles too when they had their super team.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not really. Yeah, no, that's not really. It's not like a super team, but they've definitely got guys that have weapons. And again, there's still free agents out there that could turn around and say, you know what? Since Deshaun went to the Browns, I'm going to the Browns too. And so they can continue. And again,
that's very. That's most likely.
Yeah, there's a lot of moves
you're going to get that.
Yeah, there's a lot of moves that they can make. And again,
but
this is Deshaun Watson.
Some money because Deshaun took up a lot.
Yeah. Listen, you got to pay quarterbacks in this league. You got to pay
Super Bowl,
QBs.
you got to do it.
Exactly. That's how it works. So, yeah. So, before I let you go, Rusty.
With Mayfield.
Go ahead. With Mayfield. Go ahead.
Bad.
Give me your take with Mayfield.
Oh, I thought you asked where.
No, go ahead.
I don't know, man. I can honestly see him going to like the Saints or something, just in like the same aspect of how Drew Brees was.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar with the shoulders and everything, and I don't know, they could work on guys like that. Now, I don't know what the Saints even have as far as capital, and they're just, I don't even know what kind of nightmare they're involved with, but I don't know, man. I could see that as a good fit for him. And, like everyone says too, like the Colts, I could see that as well.
Yeah.
But I think the Saints might be one of those dark horses in the running for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then what is he going to get to for draft capital? I don't know how that's going to work.
Especially with a guy that has like the history of running his mouth the way that he does. We'll see where he ends up. But I tell you what, Rusty.
Yeah.
We are in a great space. We got Joe Douglas in the building. He's made changes. He's put us in the right direction with great culture, man. Great culture. Salutes to you, Rusty. I want to thank you for calling in, man. You have a good night, man.
Salutes to you, Joe. Salute, Savages.
All right. Salutes to everyone. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Colin. Colin, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Colin, we've been talking free agency all night. A lot of moves made by the New York Jets. A lot of great stuff going on with Joe Douglas. What is your favorite signing that the New York Jets have made? Is it Tomlinson? Is it Reid? Is it Braxton Berrios? I mean, what guy did you see him land and you were like, yes, I'm glad we got that guy in the building?
I mean, Joe, hey, first of all, good evening, Joe.
Oh, salutes, man.
I'm excited about I'm excited about all the signings. Honestly, I'm actually glad to see that Berrios is back with us. The guy played his heart out last year.
Yep.
He gives 110% every time, and it's well deserving to see that they were able to work a deal with him and bring him back.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that Barrios was able to come back to the team.
Yeah. I am as well.
As far as the other guys, I mean, we filled a lot of needs. They may not necessarily be like blue chip guys, but we were able to fill a lot of needs, and now we can go into the draft and maybe go after best player available, right? At least in the first 2 picks. So it's going to be interesting to see how they approach the draft now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. So,
it absolutely is, especially when you look at. Yeah, it absolutely is going to be interesting how to approach the draft when you see we've addressed so many different positions, so many areas of need that we thought we would go earlier with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember a lot of people talking about the tight end position, right? A lot of people talking about that. And guess what? We went and got Uzma. We went and got Tyler Conklin. I mean, man, where do you think we go now? Do you think we still take a tight end in the draft? Like, what exactly do you think we do at that position? Do you think we, stick with Uzma and Tyler Conklin and get rid of Ryan Griffin? I mean, how do you think that pans out there?
Yeah, I think with the 2 signings, the 2 tight end signing, I don't see us addressing the tight end in the first 3 rounds. Maybe round 4, because we do have 2 picks in round 4. Maybe if a guy Ferguson or someone like that, if there's a tight end like that in round 4, then I can see us getting one of those guys then.
Yep.
But I certainly don't see them addressing the tight end in the first 3 rounds. There's still a lot of needs on the team that we can address first, and we kind of address. We give Zach Wilson a big tight end, right? If he has a guy who can just throw the ball up. He doesn't even need to see where the guy is, and that guy can get it because he's so big. He's 6'6".
Yeah.
So
just chuck it up there. He'll figure it out.
No excuses for Zach Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no excuses. Just chuck it up. Chuck it up. You're in the red zone. Just throw that ball 10 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry then, right? So there's no excuse for Zach Wilson as far as not having weapons, because you still have Elijah Moore. You still have Corey Davis, who's a big wide receiver, right? Now we added a 6'6" tight end. I'm not sure how big Conklin is, but I'm guessing he's going to be at least 6'4" or something like that, right? So as it stands right now with the team, he has weapons. Plus, you still got Michael Carter, and you still got Tevin Coleman, right? So Joe Douglas has done more than enough. So I don't think we need to go out there and still find a top receiver in free agency. If anyone is available at this point anymore. Yeah. But certainly can pick a wide receiver, and I think we're going to go for a wide receiver more so in the second round and not in the first round.
Okay.
On either of those 2 picks. Yeah. There's a bunch of guys. There's so much depth at the wide receiver in the draft that they can wait. There's if Traylon Burks drop, you got Jahan Dotson. There's this guy Alex Pierce, Christian Watson, George Pickens, right? All these guys are big receivers as well.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see the Jets not addressing the wide receiver in the 4th or the 10th pick. I think they're going to address the edge. If both Hutchinson and Thibodeau is gone before they pick, then I think they may go after the corner. Or Joe, don't be surprised if Salah goes after that unicorn guy, right? I'm not going to mention his name.
Lord, yes, please. I'll do Kyle Hamilton every week. Every week we gotta hear about Kyle Hamilton every single week. Whoa! Every week. Go ahead.
Joe, you got to think this way, right?
Go ahead. I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
Let's say if both Hutchinson and Thibodeau is gone,
yeah,
right,
mm-hmm.
and let's say Evan Neal or Equano, one of the two guys are gone,
yeah,
then what are your thoughts at 4? Because you're not gonna reach for a third edge at 4. So now maybe you get Sauce Gardner at 4, and you add an corner, right, a top corner to the team. But are you drafting Evan Neal at 4?
Well, you just
like a Sauce Gardner.
Wait. Let's go back into your scenario. You said Evan Neal and Equanu are gone. You said Hutchinson and Thibodeau are gone too.
So if Hutchinson,
okay, re-explain it. Go ahead.
And Thibodeau is gone.
Okay.
The 2 edges are gone, right?
Okay.
And one of either Equanu or Neal is gone as well.
Okay.
Then what are you doing with 4? Well,
I don't think you. I don't think you.
Now.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go tackle, or I don't think we need to go tackle or guard at 4 at all anymore. When you look at having Tomlinson come in, that solves that issue. Our tackle position, whether right tackle or left tackle, right? Because depending on who comes out of the battle between Mekhi Becton and Fant, who in my mind is going to be Mekhi Becton. So let's just say Mekhi Becton's probably going to be our starting left tackle. Fant's going to be our right tackle. I don't think you have to go offensive line unless you take Tyler Linderbaum, because Connor McGovern is not that good. Okay? I've been on record saying that. He's not that good. Now, I would take Connor. I would take.
I'm talking about 4.
I know you're talking about 4. I would take Tyler Linderbaum at 4. I know that's not a very. It's somewhat popular, but I would take him at 4 if I had to. Okay, I will absolutely overdraft position of impact before I take a safety. I would not do that. All right, but if everyone's saying okay, he still be there at 10, right? Then I'm still not taking a safety at 4. I will trade down. That's exact. I don't understand why people aren't talking about that idea. Why not trade down, gain more capital, right? Because we still got to build, right? We still got positions coming up. We still got things we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Take that capital, trade down, get better, keep it moving. I'm not taking a safety.
Yeah,
there's no need for us to take a safety now anyway, because we got Jordan Whitehead at strong safety. Ashton Davis ain't going to, we're done with that whole deal with Ashton Davis. And then you got LaMarcus Joyner back there at free safety. You can get a guy like Berkser. There's other guys as well that are going to be later on in the draft. If you want to address safety, we can do that later on in the draft. But I am not taking Kyle Hamilton at 4. I can't do that. We are not in a position to take a safety. We're not. I will trade down and take 2 edges. I'll trade all the way down to 31 if I have to. I'm taking 2 edges before I take a safety. Go ahead.
I agree with trading down the 4th pick. I have no issues if both of those edges are gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with trading down as well. My only thing is if we're stuck at that 4th pick and we just can't find someone who wants to trade up with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're stuck at that pick, then that decision really has to come. That decision has to be really, a very smart decision, because whoever we're going to draft at that position there at 4,
mm-hmm.
That player has to be. We have to hit on that player, right?
Well, I mean, you could also take Sauce at 4.
Afford to miss on that pick.
If you're forced to, I would take Sauce at 4 if I had to. If I have to take, I'll take a corner. I have no, and again, we got Reid here. Then we'd have Sauce. We'd have Bryce Hall, but I'll take Sauce at 4 before I take a safety.
Yeah.
So that'd be that there. But I hear you. The Jets have been set up for quite a bit, especially with a lot of the signings that's been made. But again, with Joe Douglas and some of the moves that he's been making, we see a lot of players coming in talking about how the culture is what really attracted them to the New York Jets. The culture is what got them to buy in to be here. Give me your thoughts about the culture change that the New York Jets have had. How do you feel about what Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh have come and laid down here that really has set us up to be more of an attractive destination for free agents?
Yeah, well, first of all, kudos to or a GM getting Robert Saleh, right? Because he went out and got the right coach.
Facts.
Right. He might not have been the best coach available, but he was the right coach to bring in because, as a player's coach, the players, they're gravitating to him now, right? Mm-hmm. And other players are going to start seeing this. So, we're not going to get all the guys right now because most of the guys are going to chase the money or the best teams. But we're going to start getting good guys, and we're already seeing it, right? We're starting to get good guys now, wanted to come to the team. And, if this team goes from 4 wins to 7 wins next year, you're going to start seeing guys, with bigger names wanting to come and play with this team. So
that's a fact.
They're doing all the right things, man. They're doing the right things. So, I'm just excited right now to see how we're going to address this draft. And,
well,
hopefully,
not just the draft, though. If you look at some of the things that we're seeing, right, we're seeing him make trades to actually garner more draft capital. Like we just saw him trade Cashman for a 6th-round pick. Give me your thoughts on that, man, because I would think that Cashman was a guy that we were going to cut anyway. He's done nothing except get injured here. What are your thoughts on how JD just continues to fleece other general managers? I mean, what do you think he's saying on the phone to get them to accept these deals, man?
Listen, either he's a sweet talker or he's got big hands that he squeezes squeeze the juice out of these guys because so far he's definitely sipping something there, Joe Douglas, because he's been sweet talking all these teams. I mean, look what we've been getting something for nothing every time.
Every time.
If you look at every time we're getting something. So hats off to Joe Douglas, man. Just keep getting assets here. Now we didn't have a sixth round pick. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have a 6th-round pick in 2023. So I can see him maybe packaging some late picks to maybe move up into the draft as well.
Yeah, that's something I can absolutely see him doing. Yeah, that's definitely an option. Again, when you have so much capital like that, on the back end, like you said, trading up and moving up definitely becomes more of a possibility, man. So yeah, I could absolutely see him doing that. Now, I got to ask you about this, man. There's a lot of things moving and shaking around this league, Colin. And one of the things that we've seen happen is Tom Brady is back, Colin. I don't know if you know, but this man has decided to ruin our lives once again and come out of retirement. Once again, Colin, he's back.
You know what, right?
Give me your thoughts about Tom Brady coming out of retirement, Colin. How are you feeling about it? I'll give you the last word, man.
You know what? His ego is going to catch up to him. That's how I look at it. He just, his ego is bigger than everything else. And, he's a great quarterback. He's the GOAT, whatever. But it's not just one guy is going to take you, to a Super Bowl. And other teams are getting younger. They're getting better, right? Other teams are becoming like super teams right now. Mm-hmm. When Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with Tampa, I was like, you know what? This is your perfect chance to retire on a high. And he came back, he lost, and now he's not satisfied because his ego is getting to him. And now he's going to come back again. He's going to try to make a run for it again. And, what if this team, gets to the playoffs and then they lose again? Then what, Yeah. What did you prove? What unfinished business did you just accomplish? So for me, I hope they don't even make the playoffs this year. And, then maybe he can just pack it up again.
Let's go.
And
that's what I'm talking about. More. That's what I'm talking about, Colin, right there. Yeah, you got to hate full-time. I love it. I love that. You got to hate full-time. Let's do it. Straight hating. I love it. I love that. I hope you don't make the playoffs. I hope you're out of here. Go ahead, Colin. I'll give you the last word. Give me
one last Yeah. One last thing. I'm starting to shake in my pants here because the AFC is just getting crazy. I'm like, we really got it. Joe Douglas really has to be like very clever in everything he's going to do this year and the next year because the competition is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, right? I'll tell you what. Listen.
For this team to even get to the playoffs, we got like so much hurdles right now.
Listen.
We have to get over. So
listen, this is the NFL. You got to step up. And the way he's setting us up, the other teams, we don't have to worry about them. Eventually, they're going to be worried about us. They need to be worried about us, Colin, because we're the ones ascending right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, because we're coming.
That's what I'm talking about.
Boy.
Salutes to you, Colin. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. You have yourself a good one, man. You have yourself a good one. Listen, Colin talking that talk, man. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Call in. I'm taking all callers. Again, when you call in, please be patient. We get to everybody. I want to hear everybody's takes. Also, please give the stream a thumbs up and subscribe to the stream as well if you have not. And hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Super Chat's there. Please give to the Super Chat if you'd like to. Also, the Cash App is there if you'd like to give to the platform. Through that means, please do. Anything you give to the platform is greatly appreciated, okay? We're going to keep on going. Joe Douglas has done a lot of great things for this team. It's set us up in a different situation. So we're going to get to these lines. Next, I'm going to my guy, Maxwell. Maxwell will come in directly to you. Jason will come to you next. Salutes to you, Maxwell. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Give me your favorite signing that the New York Jets have made. Is it Whitehead? Is it Uzma? Is it Berrios? I mean, what is the most favorite signing the New York Jets have made this offseason for you?
I don't really have a favorite signing, but I think all the signings were really good. But I think my favorite is Uzma. I think he's a pretty good tight end for the Jets, and I think he can be – and we haven't had a good tight end, like, forever. I think the last time we actually had a good tight end was, like, Chris Herndon in 2018. He was actually pretty good on the Sam Darnold.
I'll tell you, Chris Herndon was never good. I hear what you're saying, but that guy was trash. I hear what you're saying, though. Last time we had a good tight end was Keller. Keller was actually pretty damn good, but Herndon, that name around here, that guy, he's awful. I am so glad we got rid of him, and that was Joe Douglas as well. You know what I'm saying? Making solid trades, continuing to put this team in the best situation. What are your thoughts about Lakeland Tomlinson, though, man? Because that big guard being able to come in and protect Zach is going to be huge, right?
I think it's a really amazing signing. I really like it. He's a really good. He's one of the most underappreciated left guards in football, and I think he's a really good piece. We don't have to draft offensive linemen at 4 unless Kyle Linderbaum's on the board. We don't need to draft offensive linemen. That means we can draft a safety or a corner, or we can go wide receiver at 10.
Yeah, we could. We could absolutely do that. And I think another signing that he made that kind of frees things up and really betters our defense is bringing in DJ Reid, who I think is a very solid corner, and the guy is extremely familiar with this system. Give me your thoughts about him. Do you think he comes in and ends up being the number 1 corner here? Or do you think he's going to battle for that other side, that number 2 spot with, next to Bryce Hall?
I think it would be like the number 1 corner because so far he's like the best corner on the team. But we should also draft a corner in the draft like Sauce Garner or Derek Stingley.
Wow. Okay. I can see us taking it there. So my next question for you, man, is when you look at this situation, now the Jets have definitely come out and done a lot of different things. Joe Douglas in particular has definitely, put his foot into free agency. Do you think that Joe Douglas has destroyed the narrative that he is cheap? Do you think Joe Douglas has destroyed that narrative?
I think he did because he signed Uzma pretty good money. He signed Lakeland Tomlinson pretty good money. I mean, if there's a big name free agent, he'll sign them.
Okay. Now, my final question for you, man, you bringing the heat so far. After watching everything that Joe Douglas has done, what do you think are the biggest holes at the top of the New York Jets' needs now? When you look at this team, what is like the top 3 positions where you say, hey, we've got to fill that going into the draft?
So I think a true wide receiver 1 is one of my biggest needs because we don't really have a true number one wide receiver. A lot of the top wide receivers, Devontae Adams, got signed by the Raiders. Amari Cooper got signed by the Browns. Allen Robinson got signed by the Rams. But there's still a lot of ways we can still fix it in free agency. One of the ways we could probably fix that was Julio Jones. People go, he's still washed up. Oh, but thing is, he had like one crap year, and he was on the Titans. But he was injured like half that season. Mm-hmm. He was injured, and he was really good on the Falcons and Matt Ryan. I think Julio Jones would be a great fit to this Jets offense. He was. I hope you didn't forget, but Julio Jones was with Kyle Shanahan in 2016 when Matt Ryan was the MVP. Yeah. I hope that Julio Jones can be our number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
My second big need is I still want a safety because even though we have Jordan Whitehead, we don't have that much good safeties for like depth. But I think we should draft Hamilton. That probably would be a good way to fix our need. And then corner, even though we have DJ Reid, our corner room is not like the best, and I think we should draft like a corner in the draft.
Okay. I mean, I don't know about taking Hamilton. There's other guys as well in this draft, but corner, I could see us, maybe dipping in there as well. I don't know how early that will be, but I'll tell you what, pass rush for me especially, I think it's still number one. We still don't have like a legitimate guy. I understand Carl Lawson, but again, Carl Lawson's coming off that torn Achilles. I need two more. I need two more guys, and especially, again, with Jacob Martin coming in too, he's a rotational guy. We need somebody that's going to get after it. So, listen, Maxwell, you've brought the heat, man. Before I let you go, give me your thoughts on Tom Brady being back in this league, man. Are you glad he's come out of retirement?
No, I'm not glad that Tom Brady was out of the league. I made a video about Tom Brady, and even though I do respect Brady, I respect he's the greatest NFL quarterback, and he wants to win an 8th Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I respect that, but 45 years old, I just think Tom Brady needs to hang up. I've seen too much of Brady. Like, he's always being the Jets, and he's such a crybaby with fouling and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think Tom Brady should retire. It'll make the NFL a lot better.
Yeah. All right, listen, Maxwell, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. You were a phenomenal call, man. Salutes to you. So we're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Jason. Jason, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Jason, we've been talking free agency all night. I mean, the Jets have done so many good things in free agency, man. Give me your thoughts about the New York Jets signing Tyler Conklin, man. What are your thoughts about him being paired with Uzma in this tight end situation out here with the New York Jets?
Well, to be honest, I love all these tie-ins, man. We came from not having tie-ins to like Griffin and all of them. Mm-hmm. Now we're having tie-ins, and we even have the potential of getting even another great tight end in the draft, dude. This tight end group can be the best in the league at this point, man. It's so awesome and so great to see.
Yeah, it is. And again, that's something that's really going to help Zach Wilson. And in the past, I'm telling you, we line up two big tight ends, people would be like, oh, well, the Jets can only do one thing. Now we're coming out with these two tight ends that could be threats in the passing game, and they're going to light you up if you don't take accountability for that. Another guy that we got back in the fold that we've seen make plays down the stretch and help us light up teams as well is Braxton Berrios. Jason, how much did it mean for us to get him re-signed and brought back to the team for you?
It's tremendous, and we even saw it. A bunch of players loved him, dude. He was a cultural guy, man. Knowing that he can help you in so many ways. If wide receivers get injured, he can step in, be the next man up mentality, and play. We have seen it. He has made plays in the past, and none of that, he can help us in the punt return. That again, he has shown that he helped us win a couple of games because of it. Mm-hmm. So it's tremendous to have him back. And good thing is he's not going against us instead of with us. So it's great to have him back. I'm excited.
Yeah. A couple of other guys we got back as well, Joe Flacco and Mike White, we were able to get them back into the fold as well. Give me your thoughts about that, man. How do you feel about having those guys back and being able to have them back up Zach Wilson, man?
Well, to be honest, I'm happy to have Mike White. He's a young guy, man. Especially he gave us the one big win against the Bengals in the first couple of drives for the Colts, man. It's going to be great having these guys come into the preseason and have them compete. You know, the competing brings out the greatness of these quarterbacks. And so I can't wait to get into the off season and to the preseason and see how these guys develop, you know. Yeah. Joe Flacco, he's a veteran, and I know that, but Mike White, to me, I just want to see him develop and see what he can be as a backup QB.
Yeah, yeah. So when you look at this football team right now, man, what is the biggest need for you in your mind? Like, after Joe Douglas has done all these things, made these signings, brought these guys in, as you look at this roster, what are you looking at and say, we still need to address this position group? Like, what is your top 3 positional needs on the football team?
Top 3 position is going to be, I was going to have to say pass rusher, wide receiver, and the last one is probably be maybe one more safety. I know we got Whitehead, but we need somebody to be paired up with him. So, but the pass rusher and the wide receiver, I'm expect them to be addressed in the draft. So I'm not worried with that. And then same with the safety position. I think after the draft, this team's going to be a good team. You know, we're going to be seeing us get blown out like we did last year. We're going to be competition. Yeah. We're definitely going to be competition now, and I can't wait for this new Jets team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you said, you know, pass rusher is definitely at the top of the list. A lot of people have talked about, you know, wide receiver as well, or at least a true number 1 wide receiver, which I think Corey Davis can be, man. But he's got to stay healthy, and he's just got to hold on to the ball. But we saw him make a lot of great plays last year. But, you know, I can definitely see a lot of things that people are talking about. Linebacker is also up there as well. I think people, you know, kind of have been in and out of speaking about that too. But when you look at this situation, Joe Douglas has also been able to make some trades to garner more capital for us. What are your thoughts about him fleecing general managers? We just saw him trade Cashman for a 2023 6th-round pick. How are you feeling about just some of the moves that Joe Douglas makes when he calls his general managers and just takes them to school, man? I mean, did you even think we would get anything for Cashman, a guy that was so often injured?
To be honest, no. I thought we were just going to have to release him within the next 1 to 2 years, and he would be done, and that'd be it. But to see we got something for him, dude, and not just that, dude, some of these trades, dude, he's being amazing about, you know. Yeah. It's great to have a general manager that can trade, that can still finesse people, you know. Again, he finessed the whole Seahawks team and destroy the organization just by the Jamal Adams trade.
Yeah. Oh, Jason said he out here finessing. I respect that. He gonna get his any way that he can. I respect that.
Here we go.
You know what I'm saying? He out here taking people to school. If you don't know, you know. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. That's just kind of how it works when you deal with Joe Douglas. So when you look at this situation here, Jason, because you bring in the heat, man, what is a free agent that's still out there that you'd like to see the New York Jets grab, man?
To be honest, middle linebackers, just see some depth in that, you know. Start trying to see the middle linebacker, especially. We have C.J. Mosley, but after that, who do we have, you know? We need just somebody that can go in there and be able to, if C.J. Mosley miss a couple games, that can go in there and hold the line for us until he can come back.
Yeah, you know, I can see that as well. So before I let you go, Jason, man, we've seen some moves around here. Give me your thoughts about the Deshaun Watson trade to the Browns. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Man, dude, the AFC keeps getting harder and harder, man. This AFC, man, it's gonna be competition next 3 or 4 years, man. There's nothing. It's gonna be insane. Yeah. And especially the teams we have to play, dude. We have to play not only that, we have to play Wilson this is coming year. We have to play Deshaun now coming this year, man.
Yep.
We're going to be Rodgers this year right now. Every QB that gets traded, it seems like we have to face them.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun for this team to go against them. It's just going to be interesting, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to run through the wall with this team, and I'm ready to start punching people in the mouth for once. And
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Jason. Listen, Jason, man, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. You have yourself a good one, all right, my friend?
You too, man. Jets up, everyone. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, man, what a show. Show's on fire. All right? We're rolling. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and close the show down. So much good stuff going on. Great stuff going on in free agency as well. I really like a lot of the signings that the New York Jets made. There's a lot of underrated signings, too. I believe it was Angelo talked about it as well. Eddie Pinheiro being brought back, that's big, man. You get a kicker that can stabilize that position, make kicks when it matters, that's huge for us. Really, really big for us. I like the direction that we're going. And I think the New York Jets are going to continue to do things to better this roster in this upcoming draft, too. I want to see if the Jets actually end up taking a tight end. It's so interesting because this tight end class is so deep, but we already got two guys. I'm wondering if they go tight end again late in the draft because there's so many guys out there. Likely, Trey McBride, Rucker. There's so many names. This was a super deep class. But I tell you what, we must address the pass rushing situation. We must do that. I see them absolutely attacking that situation. I think wide receiver and pass rush is probably the two top things that Joe Douglas is going to go after. Also, defensive line, too. We lost out on B.J. Hill. I could see them possibly adding maybe some defensive tackle late in the draft as well to come help us, especially in run support, because we was getting cooked up front last year. Anybody watch that Colts game? Woo! We got lit up in that game. They ran all over us. You know what I'm saying? So, salutes to everybody listening. It's been a great show. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I am also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. Follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Maybe in this upcoming draft, I'll have a Drake London jersey on at all times. That's somebody the Jets can take. I'm not saying that's what we should do. I'm just saying that's something we could do. Then we'd have two great players from SC. Not that I'm a homer. I'm not. I'm just saying I recognize talent where talent is. That's all I'm saying. All right. Vera Tucker, young guard, one of the best guards in the league. Fight on. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So I have that jersey on at all times. Also, the show's Twitter is at The Long Beach Joe. At The Long Beach Joe. Follow that as well. We can go back and forth, talk about football. I'm also on YouTube as well. Go to YouTube, search Long Beach Joe Jets, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Subscribe to that page. Hit the notification bell. If you want to troll me, no issues. Hit those comments. We'll go back and forth. I'll troll you back and forth in there as well. And as always, people, when you see me in person, okay, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. No matter what anyone says, the hugs will always remain free. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank everybody for calling in. Without you folks, I am absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen and call in. You folks are the greatest. Joe Douglas, I'm telling you, he's amazing, man. We're turning things around here with the Jets. This is phenomenal. You folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. Salutes. Okay, everybody's here. Salutes to everybody, all of the new callers as well, all the new listeners. Salutes to y'all too. Really appreciate everybody, coming on by, saying what's going on. Jordan Victor, salutes to you, man. Good to see you in here, and thank you. Jordan Victor says, keep being awesome with the content, Long Beach Joe. Thank you so much, man. Truly appreciate you. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for checking out my content. I really appreciate it. For those of you that are new, and just coming by, we do this radio show year round, okay? Year round, I will be doing the Jets radio show all throughout this off season. All right, we'll be talking about the team all throughout the season as well. We talk about the team too. We also do live watch-alongs. We do live play-by-play reactions here, all right? We watch the games together when my schedule allows me to. My schedule's crazy, all right? But we sit down Sundays or Thursdays, Mondays, whenever the Jets are going to play. We watch the game together, and we do a live radio show after the game. Now, usually like Thursday night games is late at night. We won't do that. We'll do them on a different day. But the Sunday games, we definitely do live radio shows after those. So that's something that we do over here. Also, for the new people that are coming on by, an old trick that a lot of, my, older callers like to use. So if you see this number right here, okay, this number here, that's the number to the show. It never changes. All right. If it changes, I'll let y'all know, but it's never going to change for the, foreseeable future. Right. So they call in early. My shows start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you follow me across my social media, ! links in the chat will bring up my social media, right? ! links. If you hit that link tree, that has the links to all of my content. It has my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, everything, okay? The days that I'm going to do the show, I announce it way ahead of when I'm going to do the show, so you guys know what day and what time we're going to do it, okay? You will know. Generally, the shows are on a Tuesday or a Friday, excuse me. Again, my schedule's crazy, but you will know if you follow me on social media, all right? You will know across the board, okay? So they call in early, about 10 minutes before the show starts, 5 or 10 minutes before the show starts, the lines open. So if you call in and just wait on the lines, boom, you'll be in early when the show starts, all right? So that's an old trick. Also, for my new callers, when you call in, please make sure that your phone is good, okay? If you're calling me from the back of a Pringles can, I'm not going to be able to hear you, and neither is my audience. You know what I'm saying? Neither is, the savages in the chat. We want to be able to hear you. We want to be able to, hear your takes and hear your responses and hear, the smart stuff you got to say. Please make sure your phone is good. If your phone is not good, I'm telling you, I can't do anything. I'm going to have to move on, okay? And I want to hear everybody's takes. That's why I do this show. That's why I make content. That's why I have a channel. Okay. It's all to connect with Jets fans, connect with football fans. Cause again, there's a lot of people that do watch my content and I go back and forth with that aren't even Jets fans. Right. I love football. I love football fans. I love, having chats. So please make sure your phone is good. Don't call me on speakerphone because it's going to echo. That's one thing I tell people all the time. Have the little fancy earphones that people be having, those wireless stuff. Sometimes those don't work either. Please just put the phone to your ear or plug it up to your thing or whatever. Make sure you're good, okay? I want to be able to hear you. I want my audience to hear you as well. I want to hear your good takes. I can't do that if you're calling me from the back of a Sega. I can't do it. All right? Put the Sega down. Go to the phone store, get you a good phone. Let me hear you. All right. So that's what I want to do. And again, for my new callers, please be patient. We get to everybody. Don't call in and hang up. Call in and hang up. I know a lot of people have different systems. My system, I can see you. Okay. You're in a queue. I can see you. I'll get to you immediately. Just hold on and we're going to get to you and hear your take. All right. So that's all for my, for the new people that watch me. And I truly appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? TB Slugger 5, salutes to you. TB says, great vibe, go Jets. That's what I'm talking about. Go Jets. Salutes to you and thank you for being in here. All right. Also, for those of you that are new too, I always have to talk about this as well. I almost forgot. We also game on this channel too. We play a lot of games. We have a lot of fun. So when my schedule allows, we play like Street Fighter, Madden, We play Outlast, Resident Evil. We've done a lot of stuff. So outside the radio show, you'll get other content as well. We have a lot of fun together. We sit down, we, have a laugh. We talk about life and all kind of crazy stuff and just have great vibes in here. So we do Jets radio shows. I do a lot of Jets content. I play games and have fun doing that too. So don't be surprised if you see me in here smacking people around in Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? I got to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to do it. Why not me? You know what I mean? So that's something we do in here as well. So we have a lot of fun doing that. So you might see that. Again, when my schedule allows, my schedule is crazy. So we have a lot of fun doing all those things. Again, you know what I'm saying? We'll keep doing this radio show. The next show that I'm going to do is going to be Tuesday. Right? Yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be the next show. We'll continue to talk about the New York Jets. We're going to talk about them all throughout the draft time. I'll let you guys know about the draft shows we're going to have too. We'll be discussing that as well. So we're going to be talking about a lot. So please, come on by, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, please give the stream a thumbs up, man. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here because my schedule is crazy and I got to go. So listen, folks, be safe. All right. Be safe out here. A lot of crazy things going on in the world. I don't know. It's crazy. All right. Be safe out here. Protect yourself and your family. All right. Sit down with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and enjoy your times with them. Okay. Sit down, eat some good food, have some, watch some good television shows, and enjoy yourselves with your loved ones. Okay. Always let the people that you love know that you love them. It's extremely important in this world. All right. Extremely important. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You folks be safe out here. You folks have a good one. See you Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right. You folks have a good one.